Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Coach U Show. Today we have Marcelo Bermann of American Painting, and he's got a story to share that all of you guys as small businesses will want to understand on getting ripped off by an agency, but also turning it around. He runs San Diego housepainting.com, and you've been serving San Diego since 1992 and before in Boston in 1971. So you've been painting for 48 years?
Just a correction, the website is bestsandiego.housepainting.com, but the name of the business is American Painting.
American Painting. So you had that URL mainly for the SEO, because I see you have American Painting, listed as your name. And just because we do a lot of SEO, I can see that you rank on lots of I'll just show you this one thing just for fun, right? Did you know you rank on 235 keywords? So searching on American Painting, you rank on number 7, and you've been moving up. And your SEO has been getting better and better. Exterior painting, San Diego, you moved from 16 to you're almost onto the first page, right?
Oh, good.
San Diego painting, you're one position away from getting the whole point on Google is to be on the first page, right?
Right.
15 to 11. So certainly things with your website are starting to go in the right direction based on the SEO tools. You have some great stories. You've been doing this almost 50. You certainly know what you're doing. But
I know what I'm doing on the trade side, but in terms of SEO, I've been around the block trying to promote myself. It's been horrible.
Yeah. So tell me what happened with Aaron Gabitas of Go Be Rewarded.
What happened was I'm a member of BizX. It's a barter exchange. And I don't know if I reached out to them or they told me that he was available. I called him or heard from him. I'm in San Diego. He's in Oceanside. And he was very good on the phone.
He's a great salesman.
Great salesman. He reminds me of some of these people that are on speed and they can somehow read your mind and they tell you everything that you want to hear. The one thing is he insisted that I drive up to Oceanside, which I did not understand because why? It's like, if he can do this, but in any event, I drove up to Oceanside. It's a long drive. There's a lot of traffic and he wanted to show off his place. I'm familiar with the area. I used to live in Oceanside. And he did a presentation meeting where there are a couple of women there. One of them was constantly on her smartphone. The other one was somewhat present. They really didn't know much about the subject. He also had another guy there. I guess he wanted to impress me with the staff that was on hand and the plant where he had the thing. One of his selling points was that his dad had been, I think, a curtain installer, like on windows, and that he knew how being specialized business with a particular gift, that he would know how to present me to the world so I would get the right kind of clientele and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So he was very convincing and everything. He did like an hour-long presentation with maybe even videos and a whiteboard and so on. And I listened in, and basically he wanted $2,500 to redo my website, and he was going to do a super duper thing. He was going to have some staff that was going to do some video. So he was going to do a shoot as well as, and they were going to come out on site and shoot while I was working. So it was going to be a very comprehensive, well-mounted, professional website. And then he wanted to host it. He wanted to be the host of the website, which from the start I wasn't excited about because I learned that I'm better off having my own place hosting the website.
So you have control, otherwise they hold you hostage.
Yeah, because I didn't want him to
common scam. Yeah.
I didn't want him to own me. I didn't want to have to go through them for anything. I didn't want, if there was a problem down the line, to lose my site and everything I'd put into it.
Yeah.
So that wasn't exciting to me. And then he wanted $299 a month to do the maintenance on the site, to do the SEO on the site. It would be an ongoing cost. And that was a little steep for me. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you for $199 a month. Now, as a BizX client, you're not supposed to deal in cash.
Right. Barter.
You're supposed to use barter money because you're cutting them out of the deal. They did the intro. They have all the expense of linking people together, and it's a safety net as well. So I didn't like that he wanted cash, but it seemed like it was the only way he wanted it. I went with the program and even offered him 2,700 as a kind of consolation for not getting the 300 out of me. So I gave him a couple hundred more in barter money, because the site was going to be done on barter money.
Okay.
And then I went home, I signed, and I turned over the barter money straight away without them doing the site or anything.
Right.
My son, who is a developer, said that's not a good thing to do, that you don't pay up front. You have to see the work done first.
Yeah.
Then I went home and I started communicating with somebody else that was going to be handling my account. And I was adamant about them not hosting it on their server. I said, it's fine if you want to launch it on your server, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And they wanted me to use some Amazon thing because it's faster than, I think that was them. I'm not sure. But I was agreeing to everything, but I wanted after a year or something to be able to have it back. All of a sudden, we've been like negotiating back and forth for a couple of weeks. I've already paid. The second in command, this other guy, just drops me like a hot potato. Like he wants to unwind the deal. And they actually only gave me back, I don't know if they gave me back or I had to get in touch with BizX to get my money back. And even then, they didn't give me back all of the money. So BizX had to do a thing with him to get that money back. And I did not like being led on, make an agreement, sign a contract, and then have it undone. I wasn't happy. And I communicated with BizX and I explained to them what went down. And they really didn't do anything for like a year. And I was really unhappy about that. And I kind of cooled my heels with BizX after that.
Yeah.
They reached out to me. It was almost a year. And I said, well, what about this? You said you were going to look into this. You're going to throw him out of the system. If he was dirty, you're going to, and you did nothing. And then they finally, they explained to me how it was complicated because of their meetings and this and that they were going to look into it, and that there was something else, maybe someone else. And so finally, they did look into it. They didn't drop him out of the system, I don't think.
He's still there.
He's still there. And I guess you picked up on my review. I must have said what actually went down in my review. One of the things I like is people to walk their talk. So I didn't really want to start giving him bad reviews outside and Google or anything, because I was afraid. I don't know how SEO works. I didn't want him slandering me. But I guess if he did do something like that, I would just notify Google.
Yeah.
So basically, he was a cheat and a thief and a liar.
Yeah. He'll threaten you if you try to leave an honest review about what happened. But ignore the threats. There's nothing he can do about that because you're providing the truth. Yeah.
And I think he said he had served and he was in the service. And like the story about his dad, and he understood. And it's like he had all these, he had just gotten out of the service, was what he told me. And like he had all these selling points, because whether you agree with politics or not, people in the service are really dedicated.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But it was awful. It was a really bad experience. And after that, my son helped me with an Indian company. We had to hold their hand through 6 months. They did a halfway decent site, but the guts of the site, even my son did not take care of, and he did not really look into. So basically, I came out of the whole thing. I had less presence on Google than when I had my old site, but I hired a company that's actually doing something, and they're really reasonable. And they're okay. It's like some of their English grammar is bad, but I correct their articles. I try to work with them, and they make their mistakes. But like you said, you can see that I'm actually coming up in the rankings. Yeah. I think I've been with them maybe a few months, 3-4 months. So I expect that they will be able to do better. And their name is Entire Digital Solution. And his name is Viraj Kumar, the owner. And it's been pure hell to find good people that are affordable.
Yeah. Or good people at any price that are competent. And with things like
Yeah.
SEO, you're in the trades. You've been doing this painting for almost 50 years. And
I started in 71.
71. Yeah. Wow.
51 years.
Holy moly. That's half a century. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So while you're an expert in that, and I built the analytics at Yahoo, a search engine, over 20 years ago, my expertise is in SEO. My advice for everyone out there is that SEO is completely measurable. So when you see a scammer like Aaron Gobitis try to take your money and try to make all these promises and tell you all these stories, but then you start asking questions and then things kind of start changing, that's when you have an issue. So to Marcelo's point, never pay the whole thing up front, right? Always check out the reviews. You should go Google Aaron Gobitis and see what shows up on the first page for his name. And if he's good at SEO, then those horrible things about him are not going to show up on his name, right?
Yeah. He'll have accolades. He'll have 5-star ratings. He'll have people raving about him, grateful, which he doesn't have, I'm sure.
Well, thank you much, Marcelo. Do you have any other final words or any warnings for other small businesses that are looking to hire an agency to do SEO or their website or something like that?
I would just tell them to consult with you. You seem to be more knowledgeable in the matter than I am. And it's good to have somebody that knows what's going on your side. It just makes a world of difference to have someone you can trust. Trust is essential.
Amen. And as part of our way to say thank you for you, you're going to get a high-powered SEO link from my site that's going to go to your site. And it's just a way to say thank you. It's completely legit. There's no white hat. Your SEO company can take a look at the link that I'm going to send from our interview. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for taking the time and putting the energy that you're putting into this. I think people that are dishonest should be brought into awareness.
Yeah, they should. And if they're good at internet marketing, then they should be able to protect the reputation. If they know how to do SEO, we should be able to Google their name. But even with all those protections, there's no law against scamming somebody. Just like our buddy Philippe Cadu, who's a San Diego chiropractor massage therapist, that Aaron Gobitis took $12,500 from. It is all well documented. This has happened many times, and we've confronted Aaron about it. And each time he says, well, what I'm doing is legal because I have a contract. So technically I delivered you a website. Technically I made some social media posts. Yes, but you didn't drive any new customers. You didn't drive any sales. Well, that's your problem. You have an opportunity to make it right. He did nothing about it. And it's all on video. It's all documented.
Yeah, it's a very unregulated, it's like new territory.
Yeah. And I think one day digital marketing will be like medicine, where you have to become a doctor. Or if you're going to fly an airplane, you have to go to flight school. But right now, digital marketing is like witch doctors, voodoo. They can say whatever they want because there's not to say there has to be regulation, but there have to be standards. So anyone like Aaron can just declare himself to be an internet marketer. And how are you going to know better, right? Marcelo, how are you going to know whether he actually is good at SEO?
I once had this girl call me because I get calls all the time. I get emails all the time, people trying to get my business. And she called and she told me, she said, I used to do that. I would call people and our company did absolutely nothing except keep the initial so-called setup fee.
Yeah.
That it's just, for some people, it's an absolute scam.
Yeah, it is. And it continues. And people like Aaron Gobitis of Go Be Rewarded do this over and over and over again. So we need to let people know about this because there's a lot of legitimate marketers out there and they're not beating their chests. And
yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, when he walked me around the office and he introduced me to the girl who was going to be doing something or other, and she was on a computer, I didn't get like any kind of spark, like she cared about anything. It was lifeless.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you don't care, if they don't have trust, walk away. Yeah. Thank you so much, Marcelo. Appreciate you, my friend. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Okay. Bye.